back. We're going to start off with first warning meteorologist Ken Mahan. And Ken, what is the weather looking like for the rest of the day for those that are just waking up from the New Year celebrations last night and just ringing in the new year?
That's right. Yeah, all the celebrations and everything all comes to this, and you're going to be dealing with some mild conditions. I'll start with the positive. It's going to be warm today. Talking about temperatures up to perhaps the low 50s anyway, but we are going to be dealing with rain, heavier rain later on this afternoon. But until then, we have fog. The Quabbin Skycam shows a lot of fog out there, and that's the case for most of Western Mass. Dealing with will actually end up being a fog advisory until 1 o'clock this afternoon, as temperatures hover around the same dew points, 47 degrees in the Springfield metro area, the mid 40s for the most part, and expanding north and west. That's the theme. Really the coldest readings, 41 degrees anyway in Charlemont and Worthington, but temperatures will crawl up in to the low 50s out there for you to enjoy a otherwise mild start to 2022. Visibility at the moment, 10 miles per hour in Springfield right now. However, that does change quite often anyway, as these air masses start to mix a little bit there, and the saturated air ends up keeping things a little bit risky out there. It's just over to the west, Westfield at 1 mile as far as visibility goes. And that's the whole case for most of New England at this time. And it's going to, again, stick around like this for the next few hours or so as we deal with the leading edge of a cold front and low pressure system that will work its way into the region, actually wreaking havoc in mid-America at this time. But already for us, a few morning showers. And you're going to have a little bit of a stretch of dry weather anyway for the next several hours anyway, out in front of the heavier stuff. This is going to be creeping up to the east and north, and dealing with that. We're going to be talking about some heavy downpours at time later on this afternoon. But this is a pretty rather large, extensive low pressure system that's extending from middle America off to the east coast anyway, bringing some severe weather into play, talking about some snowfall as well. It's going to be sliding up over to the northeast anyway, and you can see that stretch of winter storm warning off from most of middle America there, leading into will end up being the northern part of New York, northern Vermont, and parts of Maine and New Hampshire, as well as the warm weather. The warm air will stay down to the south, and for Springfield and most of Massachusetts, going to be dealing with the wet rain today. So speaking of, we're going to have that mild and rainy start to the New Year's Day anyway. Sunday it will stick around as the winds actually pick up, and mild temperatures will kick around as well. But then we're on tap for some pretty significant cold air that will be settling in on Monday anyway, as far as things start going. But today we had that southwesterly flow bringing up the moisture anyway, bringing up the warmth as well. That cold front approaches with that low front, leading into a weather wet weekend anyway, when it's all said and done anyway. And the timing anyway, nice and dry for the most part up until about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock today. And then the heavier stuff works its way into the picture later on this afternoon. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder as well out there as that system really migrates off to our south and west. 7-day forecast is going to be staying warm for the next 48 hours. 28 degrees, a 20-degree swing on Monday for you to really feel like, well, it is January. Back on over to you, Leon.